Hey everybody, I hope you are doing well. I'm Afefe with Touched by Tarot and Beyond. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. I am a tarot and oracle reader, an intuitive reader, and in addition to that, in my past, some years ago, I was a newspaper journalist. So my approach to the readings and spirituality is both, grounded, try to get my facts straight, but also very much in touch with spirit and getting more depth into different issues that we cover. So welcome aboard. I hope you like what you see. Stick around, hit that subscribe button. For my existing subscribers, I really appreciate you. I'm glad you're here. And my members, mwah, that says it all. All right, I'm going to keep this one short. I will be honest with you. I have resisted this since March when the news around Sean Diddy Combs first broke. I had a lot of people come to me then, emails and stuff and say, look, let's take a look at this. And I resisted it mainly because I knew it was true, and also because this does teeter more into the celebrity aspect of what's happening. I try to keep my readings more in the lines of either spiritual growth and or politics per se. But this is political in a sense, you all, to me, because we know that a lot is happening right now around women's right to control their bodies in general, right? Reproductive health, etc. But as an extension of that, the idea of violence against women, we know how much, happened around Epstein, right? And how there were certain ties between Epstein and Trump, allegedly, right? For entertainment purposes only. And others, many others, Bill Clinton, others. I have a feeling in the wake of this arrest, which we knew was coming. Anytime you get a raid on his homes like that happened back in March, you do not get federal agencies that converge on you that way without having a heck of a lot of evidence and research and planning having been done, to justify that. So we knew that was coming. The news as it is being revealed to us, this whole thing about a thousand bottles of baby oil and lube on his property. A thousand. The extent, it when you read the stories, it sounds like this really does kind of teeter over into torture. Again, for entertainment purposes only, I have to say that. But I want to look. So now he's been denied bail. He knew this was coming. Sean Combs knew this was coming because, from what I understand, he made arrangements and offered the court $50 million to release him on bail. He had already put things into motion, his home, some of his other assets, to be prepared to make that offer. So he knew for sure that he was going in. He knew that this was coming. From what I understand today, Wednesday, the 18th, he is going back before the court. He's being held in a federal center in Brooklyn, New York. He's going back before the court to appeal his right to offer bail, be released on bail. I want to take a look and see if that's going to go through. And then I want to take a look at sort of what we can expect now. I have a strong spirit. The guys are like, we're going to learn so much, and a lot of it is going to be heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, gross, grotesque, and there may be, as was the case with Epstein, although we're still waiting for some of the outgrowth of that, the connections to other celebrities. It is what I'm getting from the guys. It's hard to believe. It's difficult to believe that some of these freak-offs, as it were, and other events that he manufactured with these participants, drugging them, and then especially in the case of wannabe singers and what have you, holding them in his grip to influence them, getting them on tape, and then threatening to use that against them. So there's a difference here. I think this is going to parlay somewhat into what we are going to hear from Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, and others who recognize that violence against women in this year's elections are just a force to be reckoned with. That's not going to let up. And the breaking of this story and the heightening focus on this story at this time, I think, is going to really rally women and the idea of any form of violence, coercion, control over women's bodies, all of those things being, to an extent interrelated and interconnected. I do believe in some regard that this is something that will impact the political spectrum at this time and how women feel about their bodies. Having said that, let's take a look now at Spirit. Will Sean Combs be granted bail? Will he get out? Will he be released on bail? Will Sean Diddy Combs be released on bail? Or will he stay in? Will the judge deny that? Nine of Swords. He ain't going nowhere. He's not going anywhere. That's his stress. Nine of Swords. He's no sympathy, right? Now, of all the things that he can expect at this point in time, I think sympathy is non-existent. And the World. That feels like he may be moved to another facility, but not bail. And the Knight of Swords, so that's him trying to, his attorney trying to talk the judge into it. Because again, he managed to come up with $50 million to put up to let him go. And there's the Eight of Wands, the mounting pressure to let him go. But the idea is, to not let him, is he enough of a flight risk? That's the bottom line. Is he enough of a flight risk? Will he be released on bail? Four of Wands. I don't think he's going to get released. And the Ten of Cups. I don't think he's going to get released right away. But I do believe from these cards, because I didn't get an absolute no. I did get that Nine of Swords, which I was initially, I felt like Spirit was saying no. But I think this is more his state of mind. But there's it feels like there may be something that they work out. Maybe not today, but down the road. Not only in terms of taking his assets, but, ankle monitor, video monitor, blah, 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 etc., just to make sure that he cannot get away. So I would not be surprised, or house arrest, etc. I would not be surprised if he does eventually work something out, but it's going to cost more than just the money that he's offered, more than just that $50 million. Now, secondly, Spirit, is this, I want to see him. And I want to see how this is going to, please show me how this is going to play out over time. I'm going to a Lenormand deck. How will this play out with Sean Combs over time? What will we learn? Will there be other celebrities who are highlighted and charges sought against? We have the Ship. That's a card that indicates a passage of time, but also news that comes from afar. There are people, you all, who are going to sing like canaries about this man. And clearly that's already started. I feel like, and this is also, look at the bodies on that ship, right? This also feels like there's a collective. People have talked among themselves. People are ready to come forward, but they want to do so safely. There's like, this feels like safe passage. They want to make sure that they can do so at the crossroads. He's going to somehow try and twist this into mental illness, victimization. Clearly there's something wrong. Clearly you don't. I'm not even going to repeat. Many of you have already heard the depravity, the absolute depravity of what he's been engaged in. That's beyond kink. That's beyond freakishness and kink. As I said, a lot of this seems to border on outright torture. And I think this cross is coming. Spirit is showing that he's going to have more of a breakdown mentally. and somehow they're going to try and use that as, you know, even taking him to the cross in a Christian context. You trying to use that to, you know, not as an excuse for the behavior and his crimes, but to try and mitigate some of the more stringent sentencing and gestures. The lily comes up around him. This is the women. The lily here is a symbol of wisdom, long-term gain, not gain, but what has been accumulated over time. And I think we will see a lot of women, some of whom are unexpected, and some of whom may ask to not be identified. They will cooperate and want to speak their piece and tell what they know and what they witnessed, but they still want their identities hidden because they are afraid of blowback and repercussions. Those who are still loyal to him for whatever reason, whether it's he's got things on them or whatever. Spirit, will there be celebrities? There's a key here. There's a key. This unlocks the doors to a whole lot more that has not been revealed. And I think there's a relationship here between these women and the key. These women who are, and not just Cassie, what's her last name? Ventura, the long-time girlfriend who in some ways got all of this rolling when she filed the lawsuit against him, I think it was late last year, and he settled it within a day. You all heard about that, right? He settled that lawsuit within a day of it being filed. That in and of itself, you know, it was like guilty, 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 right? But there's something behind her. She was a key to a lot of this. Cassie was a key to a lot of this finally beginning to unravel and you know, it being addressed, especially when we saw that video of her. Of course, he first denied ever having done anything wrong to her, and then that video surfaced where he brutally attacked her. But this is not just Cassie, you all. I'm getting from Spirit, this is a number of women. There are multiple lawsuits that have been filed against him claiming sexual assault. And I think but there's something here about the women wanting to see him punished, but at the same time not wanting their lives put through the meat grinder. Spirit just gave me an image of Stormy Daniels. You know, think about Stormy Daniels, whose life has been just so drastically altered in some not so nice ways because of her, you know, desires to have justice occur. And we have the whip. As I said, the whip, punishment. This is punishment against him. He will be punished and good. He's done. He is done. Let's go ahead and just do that. You know, say that. Bring the gavel down on that one. The spiritual gavel. Boom. On that. He is done as done can be. His life is over. In his career, his assets, everything is about to crumble for this man. And I do feel like it's going to be over a period of time. And I also, Spirit is saying with that whip, he is going to get, there's punishment for him. But I also feel like there's punishment coming. Let me pull before I say what I feel. Endings and obsession. Thank you, Spirit. This is from the Kipper deck. Endings and obsession. He's, excuse me for that strap showing. So he's done. But there is also this obsession part. This is sort of the Spirit has given us the backstory of, or, you know, sort of the parts of why he did what he did. It really was sickness. It really was. And I think we're going to learn some things about him that are super, super disturbing in terms of his background, his childhood. There's a lot that's going to come out. But it's going to come out in an effort to not excuse, but to put context into how he wound up turning into that kind of monster. But again, I'm trying to see, Spirit, will this be from others? I keep getting the impression, you all, that part of what's happening in the investigation is, of course, there were people who, yes, they were under his employ perhaps, but they still aided and assisted him in this without reporting it. And yes, they're going to say, because he may have killed me, or quote, entertainment purposes only, because I felt threatened, I was afraid, But I just feel like they're going to come out. They're going to work labor efforts. That's what we were just saying, right? These are the people who were working for him, because the extent of this enterprise and how he was flying people in, trafficking is a part of the charges against him. Flying people in, forcing them to participate in these orgies and freak-offs, as he calls them. This was his workers, the people who were employed by him. He had influence over them, and he threatened them for sure, but they still did it because they wanted their rising star. There were so many people who believed that if they cooperated, that somehow they could get the payout from it, get the exposure, get what they needed, and then escape him and get away from him. And that did not happen. We have a star seed. This is still, they're showing me more. This is more around rising star coming, star seed coming right behind rising star. So this is the women and the men. We know that he hired male prostitutes as well, and he took advantage of males in his circle as well. Animosity, there we go. Animosity and manifestation. You all, there will be people who are going to come forward and sing like a bird around him. The key is, and what may delay this is, there are going to be people who just want their identities protected as possible. To the extent that some of these people, I just heard, some of these people may be on the videos. They do not want those videos shown in court, or to have them for their families, their children, etc. So that's a lot of this that has to be worked out at this time. But yes, this train has left the station. It is going full steam ahead, and we will see a lot that will be revealed. There will be a lot of people who want to tell their stories, want the truth to come out, want to make sure that this man goes away for good. He's already 54 years old. He's done. And I do believe, to full circle closing out, I do believe that somehow this impacts the election, and don't be surprised if we begin to hear not direct references. I don't expect that Kamala Harris will necessarily come out and make direct references to Sean Diddy Combs, which she even opened that door for Trump and JD to jump on that bandwagon. But more language around the protection of women's bodies, women having agency over their bodies, violence against women and others, etc. Just because she is certainly aware of this. Her campaign is certainly aware of this. She has many powerful women working on behalf of her in her campaign who are tuned into this issue. So expect that on the political front. Expect to hear more of that language as we head towards November. All right, you all? All right, I'll talk to you really soon. Remember, chin up, breathe deep, and let's stay calm. And, we got this. I'll talk to you later.